So as you know, the Passport Bros are typically a group of African American men who've decided that they should try their dating and quality of life in another country. Now that country could be first world, or it could be considered what you would say is third world, but most of them are finding themselves collaborating in countries like Thailand, Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, and Brazil. Brazilian music, Demo! And we're gonna fly all the way to Brazil. And this is where we come into a story that is, pretty interesting. There is some, there's some love here, there is some deceit here, and definitely some treachery here. And we're going to talk about this with YouTuber Austin Holloman. Now, Austin Holloman is from the great city of Dallas, Texas, and he's, as a young man, decided that he would also become a passport bro. And because of his videos on TikTok and trending here on YouTube, he became quite popular and one of the faces or recognizable faces of African American passport bros. And so outside of, I believe, first going to Colombia, he decided that he would live in Salvador Bahia. Now, of course, as we know, there was a video that he posted that a lot of people in Brazil, especially a Brazilian feminist by the name of Stephanie Ribeiro, she took umbrage with the video. And the video pretty much entailed him asking a Brazilian lady, would she kiss him or would she kiss a guy on the first date? Would she have sex with a guy on the first date? The woman answered yes. And that was just pretty much what he uploaded. And he turned around and told guys like, see, it's easy here, get your passports, come to Brazil. And so what happened was a lot of Brazilian ladies took that as being overly sexualized, and they didn't like that one bit. And so because of what happened, Austin felt unsafe, and so he left the country, I believe at the time, going to the Philippines. Now, shortly after that, there were some charges or some threats from the Brazilian government to investigate at least what happened, to see if he was guilty of what they call sexual tourism. But that's not all. There's actually some treachery here that we need to talk about. You see, word on the streets is that a young man who we won't show his face in this video, but you can go to Austin Holloman's YouTube channel and check out the Did Brazil Expats Ever Address Austin Holloman Before Trying to Get Him Arrested video. And you can see who Austin Holloman believes is the person that did this to him. And if you want to know what this person did to him, well, let's press play.
Now let's talk about some Americans. Let's throw some people under the bus right here. So this is an American DMing Stephanie Ribeiro, January 12th, the day that this all happened. Actually, I think it was January 11th that this happened, but the 12th was the day that all this stuff hit the news. So this is right before the 8 a.m. is usually when most news stations start actually publishing stuff, from my understanding. And around 8 a.m. is when I was being put on the news. So this is an American. And he says that guy, Austin Holloman, let's keep this in mind too. Stephanie Ribeiro never reached out to this guy. Do you see any messages before this? That guy, Austin Holloman, is in Sao Paulo now. However, he knew that. He's not in Salvador at this time. Well, actually, I posted it. I remember I posted it. I don't know if he's coming back to Salvador or not. If this is not snitching at its finest. So off that first message, what I'm seeing right here is, Stephanie, you got, whether she sent, some hitmen after me, who knows? Police after me, who knows? Don't look for Austin over here in Salvador. You need to come over here and look for him. That's what this motherfucker is doing. 7:37 a.m. that was sent. This guy waits almost exactly 3 hours. So he's sitting around waiting to see if she responds. She likes the message because she likes a snitch. And says, from what I understand, he just caught a flight out of Brazil. And he'll be back. And he'll be out of Brazil a few weeks. Which she has her team investigating anyway at the time, right? So she doesn't even need this information. It was put online that I was going to the Philippines after Brazil. That was put online. There was no need for him to even say that. So she responds and says, "We are already acting to report. If you know someone infiltrated in his groups, pass my contact." So maybe this is where the black man's travel thing came in, right? Where this snitch goes in and tries to connect anything, even if it has nothing to do with Austin. Connect anything you can find and throw it on his name. Does anybody want to see a picture of what this guy looks like? Because I know. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see this guy. We got a lot of 1s. Like somebody said you messed up and they still put a 1. Meaning that, you're wrong for this. Well, here's the thing. I'm not wrong for it, right? Because had you not did this, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I don't like a liar. And I don't like people that volunteer information against me when it's not, especially whenever it's not even being asked for. What is that about? Okay. So right here, show Lil Dusty. We're not going to call him a rat. We're just going to say that this guy was the one that volunteered information to Stephanie without her even asking. Here's the reason why I don't mind doing this. Because my life was put in danger.
So this appears to be an American inside informant who, without any real proof outside of a video that Austin Holloman posted, you have a man that's talking to Stephanie Ribeiro and pretty much telling him that, hey, that guy Austin is in Sao Paulo now. He's not in Salvador at this time. I don't know if he's coming back to Salvador or not. From what I understand, he called a flight out of Brazil and he'll be out of Brazil for a few weeks. So he's basically telling the lady where his whereabouts are and trying to get some information on him so that the guy can be arrested or, in Brazil, much worse, killed. That's my honest opinion. And this is a fellow American that is willing to do this to this young man. Now, again, I can see, like, if you felt that Mr. Austin Holloman was doing something wrong and you had evidence of him doing something wrong, why don't you contact the authorities? And, you know, that would be better, right? Like, look, we think the guy did X, Y, and Z wrong, or I don't have evidence, and let's try to do it there. But no, you're trying to contact a lady who's a feminist who might not be thinking in the right way. So because of this, she may use other means to get this guy hurt. And I get it that you might have felt what he did was distasteful. And again, I don't know if this guy's African-American. I don't know if he's Brazilian. I don't know what he is, or Brazilian-American, but obviously he is an American. And he's watching Austin Holloman's YouTube channel, you know, basically solely trying to get dibs on the guy. So here's what I want to say. And I've watched the Passport Bros movement, you know, from the beginning, from like what I can remember of coming across guys like Charles Tyler, who was a good friend of mine, or Philco versus the World, to actually having a name. At first, it was like the black man's option for certain brothers. Now there's a name of Passport Bros. And what I've noticed that in the Passport Bro communities, although I've met some really nice guys, and I've been to Brazil myself and in different countries, you know, what I've also noticed from brothers is that you have guys fighting in the group and guys who hate in the group. That's anywhere else, right? So as you feel like you might be getting away from some of the hateful brothers in America that's trying to pull you down, some of them might not necessarily be the ones pulling you down. They might be the ones on the plane coming there with you. A lot of guys are envious. I'm not saying they're envious of Austin Holloman, but that could also be the case. You know, one thing about being a YouTuber and putting your life on the internet is people get to see, like, you know, you dealing with certain women and having it your way and counting your money. And, you know, that's a situation you got to look at, right? You have to understand that. And not everybody's going to like what you do. Not everybody's going to like how you live your life. And some guys just don't care because they're evil like that. And so I would say, you know, guys, always watch your back. I don't care how you feel about certain individuals. I don't care about, you know, you think that this guy's my brother because he's also on Passport Bros. Like, you got to watch a lot of different dudes, man. You don't really know these guys. That's one thing, right? And I've noticed that it's the same thing just even in YouTube. You don't know these people, bro. Like, you really just don't know. So, guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.